Hello mga students, good morning, good afternoon, good evening sa inyong lahat. Pag-usapan po natin sa video lecture na ito, yung approaches to measurement of profit. Pag-usapan po natin sa unang portion, recap po ito, no? O review ng conceptual framework. Pero yung huling chapter sa conceptual framework, chapter 8 if I'm not mistaken, no? Kung tama yung pagkakaalala ko. And then pangalawa, no, yung transaction approach na ginagamit po talaga natin in practice. Ito yung ina-adapt talaga, no. But anyway, let's explain, no, as we go along. Allow me to share my screen so that I can present to you our topic for today. No, this is approaches to measurement of profit. So away from the usual presentation that I do, no, I ano no, I fixed or pinick up ko yung aking raw file unedited, no, kasi puro yung textual, at in-upload ko dito sa Gamma so that I can make use of the AI para mabigyan ako ng presentation. Pero ilang slides lang kasi ito dito sa application. I will use the standard, the conceptual framework para i-discuss yung capital maintenance approach. Okay, so tandaan po ninyo, meron po tayong dalawang approaches in determining the profit. How do we measure the profit? Alam na po natin yung transaction approach, no? Pag-usapan po natin yan later on. Unahin lang natin yung sinasabi ng conceptual framework on capital maintenance. And under the capital maintenance, meron ka ding dalawang difference na. Yung isa yung physical, ito no, pakita ko sa susunod na slide. Okay, yung isa yung financial capital maintenance at saka yung pangalawa na nabanggit ko, no, physical capital maintenance. Pero dito muna tayo. No? Ah, whether we use the capital maintenance or the transaction approach, no, it provides us a different perspective on how we measure financial performance and in the understanding of the entity's economic position. Okay? So, while we are talking first on capital maintenance, at sabi natin, meron tayong dalawang klase, financial capital and then the physical capital. In a summary kasi, under this capital maintenance approach, when we use financial capital maintenance, no, we measure profit as the excess, no? Excess of ending net assets over the beginning net asset. Pero exclude natin yung transactions with the owners, no? Samantalang pag physical capital maintenance, the profit is earned when the physical productive capacity increases, no? Mula sa beginning papunta sa ending. And we use current cost basis measurement po dito. Okay. For us to be specific, no, provisions muna po tayo, let us capture the provision of the conceptual framework. Again, I will be using ifrs.org because the conceptual framework is found there. Punta po tayo sa pinakababa kasi alam nyo naman, marami po yung chapters ng conceptual framework. Ang relevant po sa atin sa discussion ngayon ay yung chapter 8. Ito, no? Recall ko lang, tama ba? Yes, chapter 8. The concepts of capital and capital maintenance. While kailangan po natin pag-usapan itong concepts of capital maintenance and the determination of profit, sama na po natin itong capital maintenance adjustment kasi maiksi lamang ito, isang ano lang po ito, no, isang provision ng standard. Okay? Just to give you some information on the background. Okay? Ito pong chapter 8 ng conceptual framework ay hindi na bago nung nagkaroon ng revision yung conceptual framework. So as is po ito, no? Unlike yung mga iba na mayroong mga changes. Okay. Sige. So as usual, pag standard base po tayo, while dito sa makikita po ninyo, wala po tayo ditong main principle. Pero pag-uusapan po natin ito para mas mabigyan po natin ng diin yung pag-uusapan natin dito sa approaches to measurement of profit, no? Or in the determination of profit. Okay. Since capital maintenance approach po tayo under this conceptual framework, ano sabi sa 8.1? A financial concept of capital, okay, is adopted by most entities in preparing their financial statements. Okay. Under a financial concept of capital, such as invested money or invested purchasing power, although from an accounting point of view, it's more of invested money. Okay. Capital is synonymous with the net assets or equity of the entity. And that is correct, no? Indeed. Assets minus liabilities equals equity. Okay, equity being the residual value. What's left of your assets minus reducing or deducting all of your liabilities, yun po yung equity. Kaya nga, ang tawag natin, di ba, alternatively, your equity is also called net assets. What's left of your assets after deducting all your existing obligations, no, yung mga liabilities. Okay? Meron din tayong physical concept. Ito, financial concept eh. Under a physical concept of capital, like yung operating capability, capital is regarded as the productive capacity, okay, of the entity based, for example, units of output per day. No? So, class ha, hindi profit yung sinasabi po dito sa 8.1. Ang binabanggit po dito yung concept ng capital. Why? We need to determine, we need to distinguish properly, label capital sa profit. Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na return of capital, meron din tayong return on capital. Okay? And since sa capital maintenance approach, net assets, ang pinag-uusapan natin pag financial. So, alin ba dito sa at the end of the kasi ang ginagawa natin, we compare the beginning sa end. Whether yan, physical or financial. Magkaiba lang, no? Kasi pag physical, hindi ito yung usual na ginagamit natin because we are talking about mga, for example, operating capability of our assets, no? Okay? Pero we compare the beginning and the ending. Siyempre, yung beginning mo, kung magkano man yon, okay, may increase ba yun or decrease doon sa ating ending. Okay? Pero we have to consider also the movement as what we will explain later on. Anong sabi sa 8.2? Yung pagpili daw ng appropriate concept of capital by an entity should be based on the needs of the users of its financial statements. Okay? Ano ba yung pangangailangan ng mga users mo? Thus, a financial concept of capital should be adopted if the users of financial statements are primarily concerned with the maintenance of nominal invested capital or the purchasing power, if applicable. Purchasing power ng invested capital. Kung ang concern naman ng mga users is more of sa operating capability, edi gamitin mo yung physical concept of capital maintenance. Okay? So, yung pagpili po natin ng capital concept indicates the goal. Ano ba yung target mo kasi? Okay? In determining profit, even though there may be some measurement difficulties in making the concept operational. Okay. So, 8.1, 8.2 talks about concept of capital, which in this case, especially using the financial concept of capital, the net assets. Okay? Now, dito tayo sa concepts of capital maintenance and the determination of profit by relating it to your capital. No? Ano sabi dito sa 8.3? In relation daw dito sa 8.1, yung concept ng capital gives rise to the concept of capital maintenance na binanggit po natin. Okay? Just to recall lang, recap or provide details kasi dito sinabi natin ito siya, excess of ending net asset over beginning net asset pero excluding transactions with the owners, like yung distribution and contributions. The same sa physical capital maintenance, pag greater than yung physical productive capacity at the end of the year. Masyado itong brief, nakasummarize kasi ito when we when we seek the help of AI. Okay, now, anong sabi sa sa financial capital maintenance? Using this concept, we only recognize kumikita daw tayo ng profit if the financial, okay, syempre we talk about money, Financial amount ng net assets at the end of the period exceeds the financial amount of net assets at the beginning after excluding distributions to and contributions from owners during the period. So ito yung no, exact words ng ating conceptual framework. So that the financial capital maintenance can be measured in either nominal monetary units or units of constant purchasing power. Samantalang pag physical capital maintenance naman tayo, meron tayong na-earn na profit if the physical productive capacity or the operating capability exceeds, okay? Or the resources of funds needed to achieve that capacity, no? At the end of the period, exceeds the physical productive capacity at the beginning of the period. Of course, after excluding as well distributions to and contributions from the owners during the period. Kasi even though we are talking about physical capital maintenance, we also need to consider any contributions to or distributions to in the form of this, na mga operating capabilities. Okay? So, anong sabi sa 8.4? Yung concept ng capital maintenance is concerned with how an entity defines the capital that it seeks to maintain. Nagpo-provide po ito ng linkage or connection between the concepts of capital and the concepts of profit because nag-serve ito as a point of reference. Nagkakaroon tayo ng basis kung paano natin mamimeasure yung profit. Okay? Kasi para masabi mo na kumita ka, kailangan mo ding malaman kung bumalik ba yung capital mo. Kasi kung hindi bumalik yung capital mo or bumaba pa, of course, after excluding yung mga contributions and distributions too, baka nag-incur tayo ng loss. Hindi na siya profit. Okay, kaya nga profit or loss, di ba? It is a prerequisite for distinguishing between an entity's return on capital and its return of capital. Alin ba dyan? Si profit. Alin ba dyan si capital? Okay? Only inflows daw of assets in excess of the amounts needed to maintain capital may be regarded as profit. And when we talk of profit, we talk of return on capital. Okay? So, capital is the return. Okay? Return of capital. Okay, yung balik lang when we monitor our capital. And then profit is the return on capital. Yung balik doon sa capital. Okay? Kung loss yan, negative return tayo. No? Hence, profit is the residual amount that remains after expenses. Kasama na po yung capital maintenance adjustments if appropriate, no? Have been deducted from income. Okay, take note of this, no? After expenses have been deducted from income because this is the essence of your transaction approach. Although hindi po yata nabanggit dito specifically, cited directly yung transaction approach sa conceptual framework. If expenses exceed income, the residual amount is a loss. O, alam na po natin yan, di ba? From our basic accounting. Alright. Dito tayo sa 8.5. The physical capital maintenance concept naman daw requires the adoption of the current cost basis of measurement. So I don't know, at this point, please reconcile what I am explaining, what I am discussing with how this, I don't know, topics are presented in the book of Empleo and Robles because that is our main reference, no? Kasi na-explain po ito sa book. Okay? Pero dito maaring hindi sunod-sunod. Hindi kagaya kung papaano yung page per page presentation sa book. So I am following yung per chronologically or numerically dito sa dito sa ating standard sa conceptual framework, I mean. Okay? So, sabi dito, if the physical capital maintenance approach acquires or uses the current cost basis of measurement, si financial capital maintenance concept does not require the use of a particular basis of measurement. Dependent po ito on the type of financial capacity that the entity is seeking to maintain. Unlike in the physical capital maintenance, we use the current cost basis of measurement. Hindi ko na po ito elaborate, no? If you want, you can revisit this conceptual framework. Puntahan niyo po yung chapter, okay? Asa na po tayo? Ito, measurement basis. Okay? Ito po, no? Measurement basis. Current cost. You can, ano, tawag dito, you can read on this one, but I will not elaborate further on this at this point na. Okay? So, going back sa 8 point, nasaan na tayo? 8.5, no? Okay? 8.6. The principal difference between the two concepts of capital maintenance is the treatment of the effects of changes in the price of assets and liabilities of the entity. In general terms daw, an entity has maintained its capital if it has as much capital at the end of the period as it had at the beginning of the period. In short, kung na-maintain mo no, sa dulo ng taon yung capital na meron ka at the beginning of the year. Of course, no, excluding yung transactions with the owners. Any amount or over and above that required to maintain the capital at the beginning of the period is what we call the profit. Okay? 8.7. Ano naman ang sabi sa 8.7? Under the concept of financial capital maintenance, where capital is defined in terms of nominal monetary units, profit represents the increase in nominal, ano to? Nominal money capital over the period. Okay, thus, increases in the prices of assets held over the period, conventionally referred to as holding gains, are conceptually profits. 'Di ba? Um, Elaborate naman po natin ito ano later on, pero syempre 'di ba? Yung mga holding gains, okay? Unrealized gains, no? Makikita po natin ito sa profit or loss, 'di ba? In your statement of comprehensive income. Okay, pero hindi pa siya realized. Kasi sabi natin, pag na-dispose na yan, then that is only the time that we will realize it. Holding gains, paper gains pa lamang yan or paper loss ay yung opposite, no? Okay? When the concept of financial capital maintenance is defined in terms of, ito naman, constant purchasing power, yung profit represents increase in invested purchasing power over the period. Okay, after considering, ano ba yung purchasing power mo at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year? Okay? The rest of sabi dito, only that part of the increase in the prices of assets that exceeds the increase in the general level of prices is regarded as profit. The rest of the increase is treated as capital maintenance adjustment and hence as part of equity. Okay? Pag-usapan naman po natin briefly ito, no? Sabi ko nga, maiksi lang naman yung capital maintenance adjustment. Okay? Ayan, ano? 8.8 for physical capital maintenance. Capital is defined in terms of physical productive capacity. Actually, I think there is no need to further explain this kasi na-explain na rin naman na natin ito, ano? Pakibasa na lamang po. Okay? Ayan, ano? Okay, I think I will not, ano, hindi ko na po i-discuss yung 8.9. Okay? Alright, sige. Okay, dito tayo sa capital maintenance adjustment bago tayo bumalik doon sa presentation sa slide po natin. Ang sinasabi lang class ng capital maintenance adjustment, no, ay kung meron tayong mga revaluation or mga restatement ng assets and liabilities, it will give rise to increases or decreases in equity. While nagkaroon ka ng increase or decrease sa ano no, sa equity, okay. And syempre, 'di ba? Going back to the definition of income and expenses, sabi doon increase or decrease in equity. Pero hindi po 'yan included in the income statement under under certain concepts of capital maintenance. Kaya po, saan natin 'yung nakikita? Halimbawa, meron kang revaluation ng PPE. Okay? Meron kang revaluation surplus. Okay? Pero hindi yan sa P&L. Makikita mo yung capital adjustment as revaluation reserves under your equity. So yun yung sinasabi natin na capital maintenance adjustment. Okay? That is accounted for separately. Kasi capital maintenance adjustments are presented in the equity, while concepts of capital maintenance are reflected in your profit or loss. Okay? So that's the discussion ng capital maintenance approach. Okay, now, balik na po tayo dito sa ating gamma up. Okay. O, bigyan natin pick up natin yung example na ginamit po sa libro when the financial capital maintenance ay naibigyan ng example, no? Okay? Meron kang net assets at the beginning, 500,000. At the end, 900,000. So yung increase mo in capital ay 400. Kaya lang, meron kang mga transactions with the owners. Kung wala kang ibang transactions with owners, 400 yung increase in capital mo and that represents your profit. Kaso kung meron kang transactions with owners, exclude mo yan. Ibalik mo yung dividends declared. Okay? Ibawas mo yung additional investments because when you add investments, no, it will increase capital. When you declare dividends, it will decrease capital. O, di ibalik mo yung binawas, ibawas mo yung dinagdag. Your actual profit for the year is 375. I think it will make more sense if you create a T account. Meron kang beginning net asset or yung capital, 500. Sa baba, 900. Kung meron kang dividend declared, di ba? Debit retained earnings, credit dividend payable. Or retained earnings is part of capital, no? E di naka-debit ka. Kung meron kang additional investments, debit, cash, credit. Okay? Yung shareholders equity or kung halimbawa nasa basic accounting tayo, sole proprietor ka, Serrano Capital for example, credit, no? O di binawas natin kasi nga excluding yung contributions and distributions to owners. So your profit is only 375. Okay? Wala lang ako ditong or I think I can do the annotation pala, no? Buburahin ko na lang later on. Ayan, gawa ka ng T account. Nandirito yung beginning. Okay, nandirito yung ending. Okay? Kung meron kang declaration ng dividend, nasa debit. Kung meron kang additional contributions, nandirito sa credit. O, ito yung hinahanap natin. This represents your profit. Okay? I hope I make sense na. Wag lang kahit na hindi na natin i-fill up ito ng kompleto. Okay? But you know what to do. Ilatag mo na lang itong mga amounts dito sa T account. Okay? Ayan. Proceed tayo. Tanggalin ko lang yung aking annotation. Alright. Now, dito na tayo class sa transaction approach. So we are done with the capital maintenance approach. Dito tayo sa transaction approach. Pag sinabi nating transaction approach, no, transactional. Why? Because we account for the income. Okay? We account for the expenses. What's left of your income after deducting your expenses? Ito po yung ating profit. Okay? So, you can also follow me sa ating libro. Sabi kasi dito, profit. Anyway, nakasummarize naman po dito. Nandito tayo sa number one. Profit is measured as the difference between the total income and total expenses for a given reporting period based on recorded transactions of the enterprise. Kaya nga, transaction yung approach. Transactional po tayo, no? Yung capital maintenance, naka-summarize version, net assets, beginning, ending, compare, excluding transactions with the owners, di ba? And please take note that under the transaction approach, we follow the accrual basis of accounting. And we need to match the accomplishments with the efforts, no? The accrual-based transaction approach to income measurement is considered informative. Bakit daw? Kasi it relates or matches the accomplishments and the efforts so that the reported income measures the performance of the earning activities of an enterprise. Okay? Oh, what else? Alam na natin yung formula niyan. As early as maybe ABM o yung mga hindi ABM nung senior high school, basic accounting. So, income minus expenses. Ano ang benefit nito sa atin? Okay? It helps users assess future performance and cash flow generation activity because it can be used for this. Siyempre, financial statement pa rin ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, the statement of comprehensive income. Diba? Although we are specific doon sa profit or loss section, this will be used for decision making, diba? To help users make informed decision. So, ito yung ginagamit natin. It measures the results of the enterprise transactions and involves the determination of the amount of income earned by an entity during a given period and the amount of expenses applicable to that revenue. Kaya nga, ano no, meron tayong discussions ng mga basis in recognizing expenses. Yung income, I will give a disclaimer later on because I did not include in this discussion sa recording na ito yung mga revenue recognition principles under IFRS 15 at yung tatlong special na revenue recognition principles na nabanggit sa libro. Balikan ko yan later on momentarily, tapusin lamang po natin ito. Okay. Now, recap lang din po, no? 'Di ba, ang sabi natin, income are increases in economic benefits. Okay, that either increases your assets or decreases your liability, pero ang impact sa equity ay increase, resulting in increased equity. Okay, dito ano, resulting in increased equity, pero excluding owner contributions. Alam din po natin, during the previous discussions sa CFAS, no, that bakit CFAS, sir? Sa CFAS ba natin yung pinag-aralan? Yes. Why? I don't know. Why? Andito yan eh. Yung definition ng assets, liabilities, definition ng equity, definition of income and expenses, nandito sila. Income is increases. Ayan. Expenses are decreases. Okay? So, sa conceptual framework natin, nakikita yung definition ng income and expense. And then, sabi kasi dito, okay, um, tawag nito, meron ditong no, discussions that hindi ko na, in the interest of time, no, wag na nating hanapin yung no, specific provision. Pero ang sinasabi, when we talk of income, it also covers gains. Kasi yung revenue, ito yung mga arising from the normal course of business. Based sa no, principal generating activities, revenue generating activity of the company. Ito ay mga periphery. Tama ba yung terminology na nagamit ko? Okay, mga gains from disposals of assets, no, na ginagamit mo sa yung operations. O, hindi yan revenue, pero they are considered as gains. But income includes revenues and gains. Okay? Ano yung mga revenue sources natin? Sa pagbebenta mo ng produkto or sa pagre-render mo ng services, okay, revenues yan. And disposing of resources other than the products, ito yung ating mga gains. Okay, so ito po yung ating income. Recall lang ha, we are simply recalling. Okay, paano naman sa element ng performance? Sa expense, okay? Another element, no? O sabi natin, it's the opposite of income. Expenses are decrease in economic benefits ng effect sa equity ay pababa. Okay? Expenses are decreases in economic benefits that results to a decrease in liability or an increase in decrease in asset or an increase in liability pero yung effect sa equity ay decrease. Pero of course, we need to exclude distributions to owners, yung mga dividends no na dinidistribute natin sa mga may-ari. And just like your income, if income encompasses revenues and gains, expenses encompasses yung mga regular expenses mo together with losses that are incidental transactions. Okay? So, o counterpart ni gains naman yung losses. Halimbawa, mayroon kang losses from fire, losses from natural disasters. Like recently lang, no? Kakaalis lang ni Typhoon Christine. And a lot of province, marami sa mga probinsya, lalong-lalo na sa sa Bicol region and then Southern Luzon ay tinamaan, So, maraming mga establishments ay maaring may mga naapektuhan na kanilang mga assets, no, at they have to write off. Okay? May mga losses po sila doon. All right. So, eto no, distinction, expenses arises from the primary activities, pero losses are incidental transactions from unexpected or unusual events na hindi naman yun yung main ano mo, expense incurring no activities. Okay? So, ayan ano, class na explain po sa atin sa libro that there are actually cited pa rin naman ito sa ating conceptual framework. Okay? When we recognize expenses, either we associate the cause and effect. Minamatch po natin yung cause with the specific income na kailangan i-recognize during the period, applying the matching principle. So, limbawa, no, the cost of goods sold. Meron kang cost of goods sold kasi meron kang binenta, nag-earn ka ng sales. Okay, sales commission, may nabenta. Okay, kailangan mong bayaran ng komisyon yung ahente. Warranty expense, premium expense. These are examples in using the associating cause and effect. Okay? Expense recognition na. Systematic and rational allocation. Ito yung common for depreciation and amortization, wherein the expenses are recognized for more than one accounting period because the utilization or the use of the asset and the enjoying of the benefit associated from the use of the asset are extended beyond one accounting period. So kailangan natin ng allocation. And therefore, systematic and rational allocation. We use some basis of estimation subject to judgment, no, and we have to justify this when we present the financial statements. And from the audit perspective, yan po ay i-challenge sa inyo ng mga auditors, no? And then we also have the immediate recognition. And under the immediate recognition, we need to recognize immediately the expense. Kung kailan po siya nangyari, no? Kasi wala na po tayong ina-anticipate na future economic benefit from it. Okay? Or, although hindi ko na po siya sinama dito, ano, sabi sa libro, or when future economic benefits do not qualify or cease to qualify for recognition as an asset. Immediate recognition. Ano yung mga examples dyan? Ito, no? Legal settlements, mga provisions for lawsuits. Worthless assets, no? Nag-write off tayo ng assets. Mga destruction of assets, although, dito halimbawa, loss on fire. Kung pwedeng kagagawa ng mga tao, ano? Or kagagawa ng, ito yung mga fortuitous events, no? Natural disasters. Like, nagkaroon ka ng flash floods, tinamaan yung warehouse, na swipe lahat ng mga inventaryo mo, you need to write it off. Losses po yun. So, immediate recognition. Okay? So, ayan po, ano, sabi nung aking, app, sabi ng app, tama na po, hanggang diyan na, umaalog na, no? Okay? Eto, no, babanggitin ko lang, hindi ko na po ito isinama sa aking slides. Nabanggit kasi class, no, yung under the revenue recognition principle. Ito kasing pinapakita ko sa inyo, expense recognition principle. Nabanggit yung revenue recognition under IFRS 15, which talks about revenue from contracts with customers. Okay? Pakita ko lang sa inyo yung title ha. Labas lang tayo sa conceptual framework. Tignan natin yung IFRS 15. Saan ka? Dirito po, sir. Ayan. Revenue from contracts with customers. Meron po kasi tayong 5 steps dito na kailangang i-recognize. Ayan, we identify the contract. Ito ba 'yon? Combination of contract modification sa dali. I forgot, no, because class, no, yung IFRS 15 ay dinidiscuss sa AFAR. Okay? Ayun, meron tayong 5 steps din dito, no? Pero hindi ko na po ito elaborate kasi eto, no, dinagdag lang sa libro pero pakibasa na lang. Pero it is in my position that it should not be included for FAR purposes, especially yung mga related computations because this is discussed separately sa FAR. If I'm not mistaken, sa accounting for special transactions, ito, the discussion. Hindi ako nagtuturo ng AFAR, so I usually do not present this IFRS 15. But let's see in the future maybe. Okay? Kaya hindi ko na po ito sinama sa ating PowerPoint presentation or sa ating presentation slide or sa slide. The same with your special revenue recognition principles, no? Yung end of production method, Okay, yung cost recovery method. Dalawa lang ba ito? Ay, hindi, meron pa, yung installment method. So, combined, no? Ito ay binubuo ng 1, 2, 3. 3 pages lang sa libro. So, hindi ko na po ito bibigyan ng emphasis. Pakibasa na lamang po nito para at least kung sakali man na mabang ano, no? Masama sa mga sa quizzes, unlikely. Pero sa mga deptals, possibly. Kasi kung sasabihin nila kasama sa libro, edi isama. Edi wala tayong magagawa, no? Okay, pero ayan, ano, I will not uh, focus my ano no additional I will not provide some ano no additional effort para i-explain po ito kasi nga it should be discussed separately sa ibang accounting subjects. Okay? So hanggang dyan lang po muna tayo. Maraming salamat. Let me know ha if you have any questions. I will now end this recording. Sana po ay may natutunan kayo. Bye-bye.